Welcome to Sip and Say with Stephanie. Hi, everybody. How are you all doing tonight? I am doing fabulous tonight. Have to admit, I'm not feeling too tired in my body. I actually was feeling a little tired earlier, but now I'm feeling good. I feel refreshed. I feel revived. I feel vibrant. I feel so excited to be with you on tonight with Sip and Say with Stephanie. I do have a few things I want to share with you on tonight, but I just want to know, how are you all doing? How's life been treating you? How's work? How's the marriage? How are the kids? How's the rest of the family? How is life going for you at this time in your life? For me, life is going pretty well. I just went to see my family. My family has been up here to see me during the pandemic, but I have not been home in almost a year, over a year and a half, actually. I had not been home to see my family. And I went, my grandfather, who is still alive and well in his 90s, he wanted the family to get together for a end of the summer, celebration, get together to see each other. He loves seeing his children and his grandchildren and his great grandchildren. And he does have a great grandchild. So he wanted to see everybody. So we gathered together during Labor Day, and we had so much fun. We had some good food, so some good eating was going on. We played a new game that my sister bought. We did some karaoke out. It was just so much fun being with my family, seeing everybody face to face outside of our family check-ins. So just seeing everybody face to face, being able to touch them, being able to hug them, being able to just sit with them and conversate with them, like eye to eye, face to face. So I really enjoy being with my family. Were we masked? We were outside. Some of us did have on our masks. I initially did not have my mask on. I had it with me, but for most of the time, even though we were outside and it was warm, I did have my mask on, and I dressed like with a tank top and some shorts, like I wasn't playing. But we had tents set up. The backyard had plenty of trees, so it was um, a nice day. It wasn't too hot where we were sitting, like under the tents and everything. So I was thankful for a beautiful day, for amazing food, amazing fellowship. So that's how I'm doing, y'all. And then, of course, back to work, y'all. It's nothing like a vacation to make you be like, ooh, to kind of contemplate your work choices, right? But let me stop. I'm happy that I am employed. I enjoy my job. There are moments that I don't enjoy my job, but I do enjoy my job. I love working with my coworkers. We are such a family, and I appreciate each of them, and even the hard work that I put in day to day to make sure that the families that we're serving are getting their needs met, right? Getting their needs met. I do make some families upset unintentionally. It just comes a part of the job, but we do try our best to meet the family's needs as best we can, following the law. We got to follow the law. So, we make sure that we're following the guidelines that have been established for us to run the programs that we do. And so I do thank God for my job and for my coworkers, for my colleagues. God is really good. He is so, so good. And I am so thankful to him for every blessing that he has gifted to me and gifted to my family during this pandemic. I am thankful, y'all. I'm telling you, I don't take for granted the fact that I'm alive and that I'm well. I don't take for granted that my family is here with me, alive and here with me. I don't take for granted that I have a grandparent that's in the 90s. I don't take that lightly or for granted that God has blessed him with longevity. I so appreciate God for how he has blessed me and my family during this pandemic in particular, but how he has blessed us throughout the ages. As the song says, down through the years, the Lord's been good to me. And down through the years, the Lord has been good to my family, y'all. And I am thankful. This is Sip and Say with Stephanie, but I'm a Christian. So Jesus is going to come in. to the conversations that I have because he is such a part of my life. And so I do thank God for him. I thank God for all of his many blessings. I thank God for his favor. I thank God even for the times of transition that I go through in life, even for the times of fear and just anxiety that I sometimes feel. Yes, I do feel fear and anxiety during certain moments of my life, dealing with some situations. Yes, I do. I thank God even for those moments because it is a wake up call for me to lean a little bit more on Christ Jesus, to cast my care upon him because I know he cares for me. So I appreciate every strong moment that I have, and I appreciate every moment of growth or every weakness or every moment of growth that I have. I appreciate it all because it has helped me become the woman that I am. It has helped shape me into who I am as an administrator, as a visionary, as a businesswoman, as an author, as a friend, as a colleague, as a family member. It has shaped all of who I am. And so I thank God for every moment that I have experienced and for the moments that I am currently experiencing and that I have yet to experience. I thank God for every moment. It don't always feel good. Well, shoo. It don't always feel good, y'all, but I know it's working for my good. It's going to work out for my good. It is working for my good. Hallelujah. I'm gonna take a sip. I'm drinking me some Scarpinati. Like I got my pocketbook wine glass on tonight. I got a couple of them up there, y'all. But I'm drinking my alcohol-free Scarpinati. You all, I wanted to have some alcohol tonight, but I didn't get to the store to get the one that I wanted. There is and I don't know the name of the winery. I'm gonna have it if the Lord bless me to live to see the next Sip and Say with Stephanie. I'm gonna have it's this African American or a Black American sister duo that has a winery, and I've seen their wines out and about, and I want to try them. So they are going to be my next Sip and Say. I'll be able to taste them right in front of your face. I'm not gonna try them in advance, or maybe I'll try a couple of their wines in advance, and maybe save one for Sip and Say with Stephanie for. Oh, it won't be October. It'll actually be for November, or either I'll pre-record October. We'll see how it goes. But for the next Sip and Say with Stephanie, I'll have one of their wines to try with you. I may even tell you in advance which wine I'm going to try. So maybe we can try them together to see what we think about this sister friend. I shouldn't call them sister friend because they may not call themselves that, but they are sisters and they have started a winery. So I'm really excited to taste their wines. I am not a wine drinker, y'all, as you all know. I have not had a sip of wine or any alcohol since 2019, actually. Where was I? That's not true. 2020, it was last year. It was last year when I had my last sip of wine. And it was really a sip because I'm not an alcohol drinker, but I will taste wine, beer, no. But I will taste new wines just to see what it tastes like. Because I don't have any problems with my salvation in drinking a glass of wine or taking a few sips of wine. I have no problems with that. I have not been convicted of that, so I'm good to go. Now, if you have, I'm not encouraging you or influencing you. I'm just telling you about my life and my story. All right. Okay. So I have my Scarpinati tonight. So I just wanted to share just a few things, just highlight a few things with you tonight. Y'all, pray for Louisiana and Texas and Alabama. They have been hit with hurricane. Gosh, I can't even think of the name now. Nicholas. I wanted to say Nathaniel, but I knew that wasn't right. But hurricane or tropical storm, some would say, Nicholas, hit some of Mississippi, Alabama, Florida, Louisiana. There are still parts of Texas and Louisiana that are still recovering from Ida, that happened 2 weeks ago, or about 2 weeks ago now. Let's just pray for them. If you can, find an organization that you trust to give resources to them to support the people in Louisiana and Texas and the other states that are experiencing hardships during this hurricane season. There are, people in Texas and Louisiana that are still without power. There are like hundreds of thousands of people, or thousands, let me say thousands, because the number wasn't in the hundreds of thousands, but thousands. It was 100,000, but I can't remember the exact number. But there are thousands of people still without electricity. So let's keep them in our prayers, keep them in our thoughts, and give to organizations that we trust that will help support them if we have the resources to do so. Just, encouragement, if you have the resources to share with them to help the people of Louisiana, please do so. If you don't, that's okay. We all don't have the resources to give. Sometimes just pray for them. And if you can speak with them, like if you have, of course, if you have family members, you're already speaking to them. But if you know a friend of a friend of a friend, ask how are they doing? How's their family doing? You might be able to get a card to them or something to support them, just to let us know, maybe a message via social media, or a text message, just kind of whatever resource you feel could be supportive and encouraging to the people of Louisiana and Texas, and again Mississippi and Alabama, and certain parts of Florida that were hit with Hurricane Nathaniel. And hurricane season isn't over, y'all. I think we still have about 2 months or a little bit less than 2 months until hurricane season is over. So let's just be diligent about making sure that we have an emergency preparedness kit. I don't know the items that you should have in your emergency preparedness kit outside of having water, non-perishable food, a blanket, a flashlight, battery operated radio, and cash, your medicine. I guess I do know a little bit, right? Medicines, if you have pets, pet food. I don't know what the recommendation is as far as how many like bottles of water or non-perishable foods you should have for each family member, but make sure that you have enough. Have your children's favorite snacks, have your favorite snacks. In case you need to, leave quickly. Have I say a couple of pairs of clothes, couple of outfits, and some shoes, underclothes, toiletries packed as well in case you need to move quickly. Those are the things that I feel should be an emergency preparedness kit. But definitely Google it, find out what the National Weather agency recommends for emergency preparedness kit. Excuse me, y'all. There are some news agencies or news reporters or news, I would say agencies that have emergency preparedness kit information on their website. So just wherever you can find it, find the items that you need, prepare your emergency preparedness kit so you're ready in the event that a hurricane or a tropical storm is coming to your area, so that you'll be prepared and your family will be prepared. I'm even thinking, and I don't know if this is a recommendation, but I'm thinking about like fire safety. You have your fire safety plan and you all meet at a certain place outside, whether that be by a tree outside or at the neighbor's house or across the street, kind of wherever. I don't know if that's appropriate for like a hurricane season, but I'm thinking that might be a good part of your emergency preparedness kit to have a meeting place, outside. Hopefully, it'll be to a point where you can get out quickly prior to the storm coming. But just again, Google it to make sure that you have recommendations by the experts, because I'm not an expert in meteorology, but that you have the information by the experts who know exactly what's needed in a storm. I think I gave you a pretty good list, but it's just good to see some things for yourself and to make sure that you are fully prepared in the event an emergency comes. So yeah, but I mean, natural disasters. I don't know. I did not look it up before I sip and say with Stephanie. I don't know how the wildfires are going in California. I don't know how much containment has been or has been had, I'll say, by our firefighters that are fighting wildfires in California. I'm hoping that most of them are contained at this point, but let's keep the people of California and the firefighters and other first responders, let's keep them in our prayers. Again, if there are some relief efforts for them to provide lodging and food, you know, if there's an organization or agency that you know that is trustworthy and you have the resources and are willing to do so, you know, I encourage you to give to those agencies to support those first responders that are combating the fires in California. So y'all know this recall race in California. So there was a group of individuals. I don't know if they had a particular name or not, but they, let me see, I think I may have wrote it down. The recall organizers, they were able to secure 1.5 million signatures in order to have an election recall. They wanted to get rid of Governor Gavin Newsom. And so that election took place a few days ago. I didn't write down the date, but it took place a few days ago. And Governor Newsom did win the election. It's really interesting. I was actually looking at I didn't look at the ballot, of course, because it's none of my business. I'm not in California. But I did look at what was on the ballot. And what was on the ballot simply says, shall Gavin Newsom be recalled? And in parentheses, it says removed, just in case you didn't know what recalled is. And that's okay, Shall Gavin Newsom be recalled or removed from the office of governor? So you had to vote either yes or vote no. If you felt he should be removed, then you had 46, y'all, 46 options of individuals to choose from. 46. That's a lot. That's a lot to choose from. But options are good. I don't know if that many options are good as it relates to elections, but that's what the people of California have. They have 46 individuals to choose from if they felt Governor Newsom was no longer, or if they felt like he should be removed from office. So the front runner for as an opponent for Governor Newsom was Larry Elder. So Larry Elder is a newscaster or a news anchor. I don't know which news, I didn't look up which news. Let me see if I can find it really quickly. I don't know which news agency he's with. Let me see if I can find it really quick. But he decided, it's time for me to be a leader in California. And he decided to run against Governor Newsom. And he was like the top forerunner, or the top opponent, I should say, against Governor Newsom. And he works for, he hosts the Larry Elder Show. I'm glad that I looked that up. He hosts the Larry Elder Show. So, well, he used to, I'm sorry, it is no longer in existence, but he did. He hosted his own show, which I like that. I like that he hosted his own show because I'm hosting my own show, so that's cool. But it is no longer on the air. I'm pretty sure you can find some YouTube videos of that, right? But he is a radio host, author, politician, and he's an attorney. So that was Larry Elder. He ran as a Republican. We know Governor Newsom is a Democratic. Not a Democratic, but a Democrat. And so again, Governor Newsom, he did win. I wanted to give you the statistics of the race. I think I wrote them down in here. So there were, I didn't write it down here. So let me see if I kept it here in my notebook. So yes, I kept it here. So 63.8% of Californians voted no. Governor Newsom should not be removed from the office of governor. 36.2% voted yes. he should be removed. And then they had the opportunity, you know, to vote for one of the 46 individuals that were running against Governor Newsom. So he's still governor. I wanted to share with you all, because I looked at the statistics. I didn't look at every county in California, but I looked at the general statistics of individuals who voted in this election. Y'all, the Black people in California came through for Governor Newsom. I hope he recognizes that. I hope he appreciates that. I hope he has recognized every voter who voted for him, because every vote counts and every vote matters. So I hope that he has, and I know he's already spoken about it. I did not listen to his speech. I don't have any details on it, but I hope in his speech, and as you know, the days progress, that he shows his appreciation for the groups and for the individuals that voted for him. But I do want to acknowledge that 83% of the vote came from Black people. 89% of the vote from Black women, and 77% of the vote from Black men. They were the highest, Black people was the highest group that voted for Governor Newsom to remain in office. So do you see why there have been states, including Texas, who had all of a sudden after the 2020 election decided that in an effort to combat voter fraud, they would give stricter guidelines for voting. The guidelines, I did read them. It's been a couple months since I read them. But they were put in place, in my opinion, they were put in place to suppress the vote of people of color, including Black people in particular, but Asians, Native Americans, all people of color. It was put in place in particular to suppress the vote of Black people. You want to know why? Because you've got your 83% of Black people who voted for Governor Newsom, 89% being women, 77% being men. They were the highest numbers as far as voters. So yeah, they want to suppress our vote because they know when we come out in numbers, we do it big. We come out, we vote for who we feel would be the best candidate for that particular office, and we don't take it lightly. We do not take our voting privileges lightly. Let me just tell you, because our ancestors died, y'all, for registering, for even the thought, even educating people about voting and showing them how to register. People died for that. They didn't even get to the courthouse yet. Just for educating people about voting, some of our ancestors died for that. For even getting close to the courthouse to vote, or to register to vote, people died for that. So yes, every midterm elections are underway for some cities across the United States. My midterm elections has been postponed to 2022, but I'm keeping an eye out because I do not miss midterm elections. I vote in every election. I think in my lifetime, there are a few elections, primary elections, that I did not vote in. Those are my early years, like my early years. But since then, every time the voting polls are open, Stephanie Humphrey's going to be there voting. I'm going to cast my vote because I recognize what it took for me to have the right today to vote. So I appreciate every person, Black, Asian, African American, I just said Black, okay, Black, Asian, white, Hispanic, Latinx and Latino, because I don't want to forget nobody, African American or Black, well, everybody, Native Americans, Asian Pacific Islander, biracial, multiracial, everybody who voted, thank you for voting. Whether you voted yay or nay, makes me know never mind. The fact that you exercise your right to vote, thank you. Thank you for that. So make sure you all that you are paying attention to the primaries that are happening in your city in your county, in your state. And I would even encourage you to pay attention to what's going on around the United States, because y'all know when one state does one thing, other states jump on board. So just pay attention to when your elections, your primary elections are happening. So go to your state board website and find out their dates are there, the information. If you need to change party affiliation, if you need to update your contact information, make sure that you do all of that before the primary, so there won't be any issues when you do go to cast your ballot. And make sure if you live in one of the states who has adopted new voter laws, voter restrictions is what I'm calling it, new voter laws. If you live in one of those states, make sure that you go to your state Board of Elections website so that you know the new laws that are in place, so that you won't miss anything. Some of the laws include changes to mail-in ballots, absentee ballots. So just make sure that you are fully educated, fully aware, fully knowledgeable about the changes that may have occurred in your state, so that there will be no hindrances when it's time for you to vote. All right. So let's get educated, y'all, and let's stay informed. All right. I wanted to mention about these vaccines, y'all. Look. Look, y'all, look. Now, I can't tell anybody what to do for themselves or for their household. As for me and my house, we're gonna do what we're gonna do. You have a right to choose what you feel is best for you and your family. But I would like to encourage you to get vaccinated. Look, get vaccinated. If for whatever reason you do not trust the vaccine or whatever, I would encourage you to do your research. Check out the CDC website, check out the health website, your local health department, check out their website, check out the I'm mixing my words, right? The World Health Organization website. Wherever there is accurate information from medical professionals and scientists, check out those websites. Again, your local health department, the CDC, the World Health Organization, and any other websites that maybe your local health department has designated for you to check out information. Check out those websites, get the information for yourself, research the vaccine, who originated it. I was a young Black woman who originated. I can't remember if she was the originator or one of the originators of us getting to a vaccine. But just do some research for yourself. Don't listen to other people. Don't listen to conspiracy theories. Don't get your information on social media. Check out the legitimate healthcare organizations to get your information so that you can make an informed decision about yourself and about your family. But again, I would like to encourage you to get vaccinated. The reason why I am mentioning vaccinations is because the Biden administration recently announced that companies with 100 or more employees must require their employees to get vaccinated. Arizona didn't like this mandate by the Biden administration, so they have elected to sue the Biden administration for this mandate. What y'all think? You think this was a good mandate from our president, or do you think that maybe he should have left it up to each individual company or to the states to make decisions? I don't like that this mandate, even though I am all for vaccinations, I do not like that President Biden decided to issue this mandate to companies, because I feel like it should be up to that individual company or that individual business to make the best decisions for their company or for their business. I feel like I would have liked for him to have left it up to them as opposed to making the mandate. But the mandate is out there. I don't know what it's going to take for companies to enforce the mandate. I feel like they're going to have to come up with some guidelines to, I don't want to use the word punish because that's harsh, but I feel like they're going to have to come up with some new guidelines. Like Human Resources is going to be putting out a newsletter about the new, new requirements, new guidelines for their business, for their company. But I don't know how companies or businesses are going to enforce it. And I say that because there are some businesses that are struggling to keep and to recruit employees currently. And now you're saying that I have to tell my employees you either get vaccinated because of this mandate or what? Or what? Or what? Like, what is it going to be? You get fired, you get a reprimand, like what is it going to be? How is it that companies are going to enforce this? I feel like it's too much. I don't like that this mandate has been issued, and I don't know if companies asked for this or if in the conversation they felt like this was a good idea for their business. That I don't have any information about. I don't know if there's any videos or transcripts or what have you out about the meeting that President Biden had with some of the companies, so some of the leaders in the company. So if that information is out there, y'all go look it up for yourself so you can hear it and know it for yourself. But I just don't know how they're going to enforce it, So I do feel bad for the companies that have to, or that have had to, and probably are making guidelines so that they can talk to their employees about this mandate. I just hope that firing is not a consequence. If you're in the healthcare profession, I don't know, that's something different there, but I hope that firing is not an option or not a consequence. Thank you, because I did not want to say punishment because that's not the right word. But I hope that firing is not a consequence to employees not being vaccinated. Because even though I feel like you should get vaccinated, you do have the choice to make that decision for yourself. I also wanted to note that there are, of course, like any vaccination, the flu shot, vaccinations for your children, certain vaccinations, for your children, you have the option to cite religious beliefs as to why you will not be vaccinated. And so there has been an increase in employees citing religious beliefs for the reason that they are not vaccinated and that they will not get vaccinated. So I wanted to share with you, just in case you didn't know, I actually had to look up the wording, the language on this, because I didn't have it. You know what? There was something I wanted to share about that Governor Newsom and Larry Elder that I'm going to come back to in just a minute. But according to Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, it prohibits federal agencies from discriminating against employees or applicants for employment because of their religious beliefs in hiring, firing, and other terms and conditions of employment. And that is straight from the Department of Labor website. So go to the Department of Labor, the U.S. Department of Labor, and you can find that same language right on their website. So I don't know, I guess companies like for us, there is a document that you fill out that if you are citing religious beliefs, there's a document that you must fill out. And of course, Human Resources will, look at those documents and, make decisions accordingly. So if there is a religious belief for you not getting vaccinated, according to the guidelines, your company, they have to honor that. And so ask your Human Resources office, what are the guidelines for citing religious beliefs? Is there a form you need to fill out? Do you have to have written documentation that you, kind of come up with yourself? I'm sure most companies have a form you fill out though. But yeah, so what do y'all think? I think people are going to abuse this. I think people are going to abuse the fact that they can cite religious beliefs as a means not to get vaccinated. And there are guidelines, like once you go to the Department of Labor's website, there's a whole list of information about let's see, let me look at some of the headings, like what is religious discrimination? religious accommodations. What is a religious accommodation? What is an undue hardship? Because that's involved. How does a religious accommodation process work? So it has all of that information on the Department of Labor's website. So if you want to just be educated about it, go on their website and again, talk to your human resources department to see what guidelines they have in place for vaccinations, or if you need to cite religious beliefs or kind of whatever. Like what are their guidelines for your particular company getting vaccinated? Again, I encourage you to get vaccinated to protect yourself, to protect your family and others, but it is totally a personal decision. I also wanted to note, just so that we can have this information, according to the CDC, there has been more than 4 million new cases reported in the last few weeks of COVID-19. A lot of this is because of the Delta variant. The Delta variant is highly contagious, so there's an uptick of cases that are occurring throughout the United States. So again, get vaccinated, wear your masks, and practice 6 feet distancing to keep yourself safe and to keep others safe. That is my encouragement for you. All right, y'all. I don't think I'm gonna go back. We'll just see what happens at the end. Let me keep moving. So I wanted to make note, y'all. I used to want to be a gymnast. You know, when you're a little girl, you see the gymnast. You want to be a gymnast. You see the ballerinas. You want to be a ballerina. You see the ice skating. You want to be an ice skater. So when I was younger, I used to love watching gymnasts perform, doing their floor routines and the balance beam. The bars made me nervous. It made me a little nervous. So those bars, you know, I was kind of sitting on the edge of my seat. So I didn't watch them as much, but I loved the floor routines. It was like my favorite event to watch in the Olympics, and any other time I could see a gymnast, you know, perform. It just brought joy to me, and I wanted to be a gymnast. But we know that on September 15th, U.S. gymnast Simone Biles, Michaela Maroney, excuse me if I said your name wrong, I apologize, Ali Raisman, or Ragsman, please forgive me if I pronounce your name incorrectly, and Maggie Nichols, they testified before Senate about the FBI's handling of the Larry Nassar case. So we all know who Larry Nassar is. If you don't know, I'm just not going to assume. I'm thinking everybody does, but I won't assume. So he was the doctor, the team doctor. Let me get back to my notes because I want to make sure I'm saying this correctly. He was the team doctor for the U.S. Women's National Gymnastics team for 18 years. Now, I'm gonna just pause right there. I don't know the ins and outs of being a gymnast. I don't know the rules. I don't know the guidelines. I just don't know any of that because that's not my career. I don't have any gymnasts in my family that I'm aware of anyway. But I wondered, even when the trial was going on a couple of years back, I wonder why they didn't have a woman doctor. And I'm not against women doctors or female doctors treating men, and I'm not against male doctors treating women. But I'm thinking, as a gymnast and a woman, and some of the things that we go through as a woman. That to me, it made more sense in my mind and probably in my heart because I'm an old school thinker. I'm thinking a woman. I mean, I'm not sure why they did not have a woman as a team doctor. That's just my personal thoughts about that. But anyway, Larry Nassar, for 18 years, he was there, the team doctor, and he was convicted of sexual abuse crimes. He's currently serving 40 to 175 years. I didn't look up each individual crime that he is serving time for. I just noted just the heading of sexual abuse crimes. You can definitely go look it up for yourself so you can have the information for yourself. So the 40 to 175 years, and then 60 years for child pornography. So I'm pretty sure, he's gonna pass away, in prison. I kind of hate to say that because but um, we all have to pay for the crimes that we commit based on our law. So he's going back. And I don't have any, and y'all, it's not that I go back for him because, again, this is a law. You broke the law and you should serve time according to the requirements for that particular crime. And in his case, several crimes that you committed. So yeah, you need to serve your time, bruh. So no sympathy there. But I'm just like, ooh, somebody dying in prison. It's just like, ooh, it's just kind of. But anyway, he's serving his time. He's doing what he has been given the time he deserves based on the crimes that he committed. Yes, I can say that. This different thing with Stephanie. So the young ladies testified as to why the FBI handled the case. So as to why they handled the case the way they did. And I'm gonna leave that there. I did not listen to any of the testimonies. My heart was just so, I wasn't ready. My heart was not ready to listen to them talk about, their experiences again, because it broke my heart the first time around. And so I am going to listen to their testimonies because what they have to say is important. Their voice needs to be heard. So I am going to get a little strong in my heart, and then I'm going to listen because I already can feel the tears that will probably be shed. So I am going to, again, listen to their testimonies because what they have to say is important and it's needed. Um, it needs to be heard so that our current administration team, as far as the FBI is concerned, that they will. I mean, I don't know what can happen. I really don't know what our U.S. senators will do in light of the testimonies that have been given, in light of the information that has been revealed, in light of how the case was handled. Incompetently in some respects. I don't know what they're going to do with the testimonies of these young ladies, these brave young ladies. I don't know what they're going to do with the documentation that they have, but we'll see. We'll have to see if there's going to be a change in how future sexual abuse cases are handled. We don't know if there's going to be a change in the we just don't know. In whatever way it needs to be handled, I hope that the U.S. Senate will take, because I'm thinking about the leaders of the FBI at that time and current leaders, and how, like, if they're going to be punished, are they going to be tried? Are they going to lose their job? Are they going to, be held accountable for their inadequacies and their delays and their mishandling of these cases? We just don't know. We'll just have to see what the U.S. Senate is going to decide. We'll have to see what our legislators are going to conclude once all of the information is looked at and discussed. We just don't know. I feel bad for those young ladies. Like, I have family members that have been sexually abused and know of people who have, been sexually abused, and the trauma of that, the mental trauma, the emotional trauma, the physical trauma of that, is horrible. It's horrible. And my heart is so, like, with those young ladies. That's why I can't bear to hear them speak about it again. But I'm gonna listen to what they have to say. So yeah, so just wanted to highlight that and thank those young ladies for their bravery and for their courage. It had me thinking about Gabrielle Union, actually, who has a new book out, y'all. Y'all check it out. I haven't gotten it. But it made me think about her because she was raped, and I remember her testifying before Congress I don't remember what year it was, and I didn't get an opportunity to listen to all of her testimony, but it put me in the mind of her bravery and sharing what happened to her, yeah. So thank you, Allie and Simone and Michaela and Maggie for your bravery. Yeah. And we're hoping and praying that Congress will act and that this won't just be a conversation, but that there will actually be action that will hold accountable those individuals that did not handle this case properly. All right. So that's really all of the news that I wanted to share with you tonight. Y'all, I I had some other information about Governor Newsom and with Larry Elder, y'all, but just research. I don't even want to research it for yourself. There was talks of fraud even before the election started. There was already talks of fraud happening even prior to the election. It's part of the Republican playbook. If you don't know what the Republican playbook is, do some research. There's also a show that I watched that was hosted by now I can't even call his name. Jeffrey Wright. I want to call his name Jeremiah, but Jeffrey Wright hosted a show. It wasn't a show. I would say a documentary is the best way that I can describe it right now. But he hosted, I'll just say a show. He hosted a show entitled Rigged, the Voter Suppression Playbook. And it takes you through the ways Republicans use, or the words that they use, the rhetoric that they use, the phrases that they use to suppress the vote, especially when the vote is not in their favor, but to suppress the Black vote. Let's just say the Black vote, the people of color vote. It's a playbook. It highlights, it's been a minute. I think I watched it in 2019, either 2020 or 2019, I watched it, and it is really good. I think it was last year that I watched it. It's really good. It gives you some good information, and then it led me to do some research for myself about this playbook. I'm not mad at the Republicans for having the playbook, but y'all just look at the show, the video. I hate to call it a show, but look at this information for yourself. Again, it's called Rigged, the Voter Suppression Playbook. You can find it on Amazon Prime if you have it. If you don't have it, a family member or friend has it. See if you can borrow, go to their house and maybe borrow their Amazon Prime and watch it. It is some really good information about how the Republicans suppress the vote. And y'all, it's obvious after Donald Trump lost the election, voter fraud, voter fraud, voter fraud. That's all they talked about. Even before this Governor Newsom race, they were already talking about voter fraud. Even Donald Trump put out a statement already citing voter fraud, and the election hadn't even started, hadn't even begun. And they already talking about voter fraud. So y'all, let's just get educated. Let's just know some things for ourselves. This Republican Party and this Democratic Party, both of them get on my nerves in different ways. It just is what it is. Both of them get on my nerves in different ways. So let's just get educated. Just let's know for some things for ourselves. That's the best way I'm gonna say it. Because I can tell you about things, but it's nothing like reading things and researching for yourself so that you can have the information for yourself. It's just like if you're at church and the pastor says, turn to Jeremiah 29:13. You can hear them read the scripture. Like maybe you forgot your Bible that day, or you don't have the Bible app on your phone or your tablet. You can hear them read it, but unless you read it for yourself and know it for yourself, it's not going to really sink within. It's not going to really become knowledge to you or wisdom to you. if wisdom is what is needed. So educate yourself, research for yourself, take some classes for yourself, just know what's going on in your community, in your city, in your county, in your state, in this here United States, or wherever you live. Know what's going on in your world. Know what your legislators are doing, y'all. Because everything that they're doing is, some things that they're doing is not right. Let's just say it how it is. Some of the things that they're doing is not for the betterment of the citizens that they are serving. Some of it is good, but some of it is not for the betterment of the citizens that they are serving. So just know for yourself. All right, so y'all, look, I just wanted to mention this just because this is Sip and Say with Stephanie, and I'm gonna get another drink because I'm kind of thirsty. I should have put me some water over here. But y'all, I just wanted to mention this just in case. So I don't watch regular TV. Like, I don't have cable, first of all. I cut the cable cord long before streaming became a popular thing because it was just too high with repeat channels. So I gave up cable back at the time when we still had the big box TV. I still had a big box TV, so gave up cable. So so I don't watch a lot of like cable shows, like, the reality TV shows and whatever. I don't watch them because I don't have access to them. And even if I did, I probably wouldn't watch a lot of, anyway, it don't matter. I don't have access to those. So even the channels that I do get, I don't watch shows regularly because after Scandal was the last show that I watched regularly, glued in front of the TV watching Scandal. So that's the last regular show that I watched until I discovered 911 on Fox. I love some Angela Bassett. Love her as an actress. And so I binge watched seasons 1 through 3, I think it was. No. Yeah, seasons 1 through 3, I binge watched and fell in love with the show. And so it's coming on. For those who are my 911 on Fox family, it's the season premiere. It's this upcoming Monday on September 20th. I'm so excited to get reacquainted with the characters. I have not been watching the show since the season ended. I haven't been watching clips or anything because life has been happening. So I haven't sat down in front of a TV to watch much of anything, really. But I'm so excited to get back into Athena and Bobby and Michael and the kids and Hen and Chimney. And who am I missing? Oh, Lord, I wrote them down. So I went, just in case I forgot, y'all. Sometimes, mine's memory. But how I forget about Buck and Eddie? Buck and Eddie, forgive me. How I forget about Buck and Eddie? And Christopher, sweetheart Christopher. So I'm excited to get reacquainted to the characters that I've come to enjoy watching them on the screen. So 911 on Fox, it is a drama about first responders. You listen to your 911 calls and you see the firefighters and the police, respond to these crises that are going on. Y'all, I done seen some crazy stuff on 911. I'm just stuff I just didn't want to know about, that I didn't want to see, that I didn't want to know. There is a potential for this to happen. It's a lot going on with the 911, but I enjoy it. So I'm excited to get back into watching a regular TV show. That's the only one I watch. After Scandal, it's been the only one. So if y'all are gonna be watching 911 Fox with me, I do tweet about 911 Fox. So 8 o'clock on Monday, we gonna be, and y'all, you know what? I'm gonna have to put a timer on because I haven't been watching the show. I have to put a timer on my phone because when the season premiere, I think we're in the 5th season. Yeah, we're in the 5th season. When season 4 came on, y'all, I forgot. I missed like the first 3 episodes. And so when I put my timer on my phone, and I remember because life is so happening regardless of season premiere. But I'm so excited, y'all. Look, if you have not seen the episode, I think from season 3, it's called Athena Begins. That's like my favorite. That's like I think it is my favorite. I was about to say one of my favorites, but I think it's my absolute favorite because it takes you through Athena's life and how she came to be a cop and her work ethic and all of that. It was really, really good. And then her mama be a being y'all. So y'all know mama be cutting up. So yeah, so that's not one. And y'all, there's a show called New Amsterdam. Y'all are probably fans of New Amsterdam. I have never watched. They're in their, I don't know if it's the third season or the fourth season because I don't watch it. I've never seen an episode of New Amsterdam, but it's a medical drama. While I have never seen an episode of New Amsterdam, I have seen clips of characters in New Amsterdam, in particular, Dr. Sharp and what's the other Dr. Helen Sharp and Dr. Max go when they call them Sharp Men. Y'all know they come out of the name Shab. I have seen clips of their friendship and budding romance. So while I've never watched an episode, and I probably will not watch an episode, as far as I won't watch past episodes, I don't think I will. But the season premiere is on Tuesday, so I'm gonna watch my 911 on Fox on Tuesday, and I want to see the season premiere of New Amsterdam. I don't even know what time it comes on, y'all. I'm gonna have to figure it out. But the new episode is coming on, and I want to see it. You know, after how many seasons? Like 3 or 4 seasons. Now I'm finally about to watch one of the episodes. You know, the Lord blessed me to live to see it, so I'm excited to see what Dr. Sharp and what Dr. Goodwin, what's going to happen with them, because at the end of last season, so they've been building up to a romance for Dr. Sharp and Dr. Goodwin, excuse me, not Goldwyn, but Goodwin. I'm so used to seeing Sharp win that that's what I think about, Sharp win instead of their individual names. They build up their romance over the seasons, and at the end of the last season, you see Dr. Sharp and Dr. Goodwin about to kiss, and then they close the door on us, y'all. I mean, they just shut the door in our face, y'all. So I want to see what they're going to do with their relationship. I want to see, are they going to start right where they ended in the last season? Are they going to have a few months or a year or something going by? So they better not have that long going by, even though I've never seen this show, but I'm invested, somewhat invested. I would say I'm about 60% invested in their relationship. So I want to know how they're going to do it. So anyway, if you watch New Amsterdam, let me know about it. Let me know, let me know about your thoughts about New Amsterdam and about 911 on Fox, if those are shows that you watch. If you have suggestions for other shows you think I should check out, let me know, because I just don't watch regular TV except for my 911 on Fox. And I'm looking because I was looking at my 911 Fox over here. So yeah, so give me some suggestions, and I'll be willing to check out a show that you really, 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 really enjoy. All right. So it was wonderful to be with you tonight for Sip and Say with Stephanie. Join me next week for our book study. I did bring my book over because I wanted you to see. Oh, it's right here. This is a book that we'll be studying next week, Only the Beginning. Not studying, but I'm gonna be reading excerpts. Ooh, I'm about to knock myself out. I'm getting tired. I'm getting silly. So I'm about to end this broadcast, but Only the Beginning is the book that we're going to be reading, and it's about Christopher and I better not, Stacy. I was about to say I better not have forgotten my character's name, but Christopher and Stacy. He's an older gentleman, like in his 30s, early 30s, with 3 kids. She's younger. Tune in to find out how old she is. She's younger. And it just takes you through how they meet and their friendship. So join me next Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Look, you all, for the month of October, I'm going to take a rest. It's something that I went back and forth with, but I'm just going to take October off. I'm going to rest. I'm going to recoup. I'm going to take care of me. I'm going to put my feet up. I'm just going to take a month off from all of my Thursday broadcasts. I considered doing like a pre-recorded show, but I don't know if I'll have the time to do it before October hits. So I think I'm just going to take the month off, and I'll be back in November, ready for Sip and Say with Stephanie. That's why I was like, we may have to wait until November to find out how the wine tastes from our sisters who have our Black sisters who have a winery. Okay. All right. So you all take care. As Lester Holt says, be good to you, take care of you and take care of others. And I'm going to say, be good to you and be good to others. All right. All right. Take care. I'll be good. That just kind of came up. Be good to you and be good to others. All right, let me stop this broadcast because y'all, I'm getting silly.